since prehistoric times when cavemen sat around their fires gazing up at the night sky. People have wondered about the little twinkling star that appears on the horizon in the early evening and morning skies. For the ancient Sumerians, this little star was the god Nimu, the god of wisdom and writing. In ancient Egypt, it was called Thoth, the god of writing, numbers, astronomy and magic. For the ancient Greeks, the star represented Hermes, the messenger of the gods, and in ancient Roman times, the name changed to be known as Mercury, the messenger of the gods. This is why Mercury is often shown in pictures with winged feet. Nowadays, we know that Mercury is just an ordinary planet that orbits the Sun in our solar system. As you can see, the planet Mercury is the closest of the planets to the Sun. It is also the smallest planet in the solar system, with a radius of only 2,500 kilometers. It's quite a lot smaller than the Earth, and in fact it's just a little bigger than our moon. Compared to the Sun, Mercury is very tiny. This picture shows a transit of Mercury across the Sun. This takes place when the planet Mercury comes between the Sun and the Earth, and Mercury is seen as a small black dot moving across the face of the Sun. The average distance to the Sun is about 58 million kilometers, but because Mercury's orbit is elliptical, this distance varies between 47 million kilometers at the closest to 70 million kilometers at its furthest. It is only visible to observers on Earth in the late evening or early morning sky. Mercury rotates very slowly. One day on Mercury is about 58 Earth days long. But while Mercury's days are very long, it revolves around the Sun very quickly. Mercury completes one orbit around the Sun in only 88 Earth days. That means that for every Earth year, Mercury revolves around the Sun 4 times. Mercury rotates 1.5 times during each orbit. Because of this 3-to-2 resonance, a day on Mercury, from sunrise to sunrise, is actually 176 Earth days. Mercury has the largest temperature difference between day and night of all the planets in the solar system. The surface of Mercury that faces the Sun can reach about 450 degrees Celsius. On the other hand, the temperature on the nighttime side can drop to almost minus 200 degrees Celsius. The reason why Mercury has such differences in temperature is that it lacks an atmosphere. The planet is too small and has too little gravity to hold on to atmosphere. Any gases released from the planet quickly escape into space. Therefore, heat can easily reach the surface during the day, but heat is lost quickly from the dark side of the planet. Mercury is made of mainly iron. It is actually a large metal ball of iron with a thin silicate crust. Mercury's core makes up about 75% of the planet, and its mantle is about 500 to 600 kilometers thick. Next to Earth, Mercury is the second most dense planet in our solar system. Mercury's iron core has slowly cooled since the formation of the planet billions of years ago. This has caused its rocky crust to become wrinkled. scientists call these wrinkles lobate scarps, and these scarps can be hundreds of kilometers long and even up to 2 kilometers high. If you were to step onto the surface of Mercury, you would discover a world that looks like the moon, covered with craters caused by meteorites that have collided with the planet over millions and millions of years. Because Mercury's crust is so thick and hard, no volcanic activity can make its way through to the surface of the planet. Since this surface volcanic activity cannot happen, Mercury will forever retain its scars. If you were standing on Mercury, you would also notice that the Sun appears 2.5 times larger than on Earth. However, the sky is always black because Mercury has no atmosphere to cause scattering of light. If you were to look up into the sky, you would also notice two bright planets, one light blue and the other orange. They would be the brightest objects in the sky apart from the Sun. In 1974, Mariner 10 was the first spacecraft to visit Mercury. It took many pictures of the planet's surface, but was only able to photograph 45% of Mercury's surface before it ran out of fuel and crashed into the Sun. The Messenger probe arrived at Mercury in 2008 and is currently orbiting the planet, taking the clearest pictures we have ever seen of Mercury. So far it has collected images of over 95% of the planet's surface. This is the first picture sent back to Earth after Messenger entered orbit. Thousands of craters are visible in this image. Most of Mercury's surface looks just like this. Like the Moon, Mercury is an almost completely colorless object, more grey than any other color. The next pictures are taken in false color using special UV and infrared cameras. This helps us to see the surface features more clearly than we could do in visible light. Messenger's greatest achievement has been the discovery of water at the two poles of the planet. Nobody ever thought that water would be found on a planet so close to the Sun. This infrared picture shows ice which appears yellow deep inside craters where it is protected from light from the Sun. To conclude, we can see how Mercury's name in mythology as a speedy messenger is appropriate, just like the planet's speedy revolution around the Sun. However, Mercury is not a messenger of the gods, but simply a small, ordinary planet orbiting close to the Sun in our solar system.